Hey drama lovers, welcome back to Drama Lovelies, where we unwrap the wildest, most addictive drama storylines. If you are new here, you are in for a ride. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So today we are continuing with episode 10 of our ongoing favorite romantic comedy, Would You Marry Me? So let's not wait further and get started. Now this episode 10 is gonna be more focused on the darker side of the story. That is, we are not gonna focus much on the romance between Wooju, Mary, Jinkyung and Sangyeon. No, we're gonna focus more on Hanju, his corruption, his second wife, and all the criminal conspiracy minds that is involved in the story. The ninth episode ended with the scene where Sangyeon was seen confronting Wooju about his relationship with Mary because he had overheard the conversation between Mary and Grandma, where Grandma was asking Mary about her relation with Wooju, which clearly means that Wooju and Mary are not married. Now this episode 10 starts from back in the event moment where Wooju had left abruptly following Mary, and Mion was playing Cupid between Yongsu and Jinkyung, but Jinkyung was all focused upon Wooju. So she excused herself from the event and followed after him, where she saw Sangyeon overhearing Mary and Grandma's conversation. Then she followed Sangyeon, where she found out that Sangyeon was out there confronting Wooju about the entire fake marriage stuff. So here our dear Jinkyung plays the savior. She arrives just in time when Wooju was actually panicking that their lies will now be exposed. Jinkyung comes there and stops the conversation midway. She asks Sangyeon for a private talk with him. Now this is the moment where Jinkyung actually shows that she's a great and genuine friend. She tells Sangyeon that she saw him overhearing Mary and Pilyeon's conversation, and that's why she followed him. And now she tells him that Wooju and Mary's marriage is fake. Now at that point when I saw that scene, I was like, okay, what is she doing? Why is she revealing that? I mean, like she has some ulterior motives in my mind. That's what I thought. But no, it turned out the complete opposite thing. What happened is, when Jinkyung told this to him, he was all ready to call to Sangwoo, but she stopped him in time and she said him that if you tell about this to your CEO, I will expose your secrets in the media. Now what secret? So it turns out that a few days ago when Jinkyung had visited the Butte Palace to return the clothes and to share a thank you to Sangyeon, at that point, Sangwoo, the mayor and Sangyeon, all three were present in the Butte Palace, and she overheard the conversation between the mayor and Sangwoo, where the mayor was saying Sangwoo that if their company needs a new complex opening permission, they should gift him a townhouse in the Butte Palace. Now this is pure corruption. So Jinkyung's dashcam by chance recorded this conversation, and now that is what she uses to blackmail Sangyeon. So she shows him the video and tells him that if he does not keep Mary and Wooju's secret, she is gonna release this video in the media. Sangyeon then accuses her of blackmailing, and Jinkyung says that this is not blackmailing, this is merely her protecting her loved one the same way he is protecting Sangwoo. And now, because she is very firm in her decision, guys, so he understands that the better way is to keep his mouth shut, or else the entire company will be pulled down because of this one single thing. So they both promises to keep each other's secrets safe. Sangwoo gets angry at Sangyeon at that, and then he throws curses at him, calls him names, just insults him. So at evening, Wooju drops by Mary's townhouse to meet her, and he explains everything to her, whatever happened and whatever could have happened only if Jinkyung hadn't arrived in time. So Mary was confused, like, why would Jinkyung help us and how do Sangyeon and Jinkyung know each other? So Wooju says that he's not very sure, but he has heard that Jinkyung is in the same running club as Sangyeon is in. So they probably know each other, and then Mary is panicking like, what if Jinkyung does not help us and instead reveals the truth? Wooju trusts his friend and says that no, Jinkyung is definitely gonna tackle the situation, and she would have tackled it already. Now when they're having a tender romance, that's where the doorbell rings. Now who is at the door? That is Mary's sister from US, Sori. So Sori enters the townhouse and she's literally awed and amazed by the grand townhouse her sister is living in. She's like, oh my god, is it this huge for one person? She then judges Wooju up and down and approves of him eventually, because even Sori knows that the bad Kim Wooju was not worth her sister's time, but this one definitely is. Now Sori's like, she's gonna stay here, so Wooju excuses himself so that the girls can have time to themselves. Now moving on to the darker part of the story. Hanju has overheard Miss Copelion talking to her secretary Miss Kim about finding details on David and the Carl's Hotel. So basically, Copelion has now suspicions against the Carl's Hotel, David, and everyone Hanju had introduced her to. Hanju, that's why, comes to kill her. The conversation actually starts in a very normal way. Hanju comes to her at night when no one else is there and tells her that David has actually left the job a few years ago and that he has embezzled the company money, that David had swindled their funds with fraud. This gives Grandma almost a heart attack and she asks for her medicines in a panicking tone. But Hanju, being the damn bad evil that he is, instead of giving her the medicines, he literally switches the medicine boxes. But Grandma couldn't catch it at that point. So he gives her the wrong medicines and she takes it. Now, after giving the medications to her, that's where he does a chilling confession. He tells her that it's not David, but it is he himself behind all the embezzlement from the company, that he wants this company to ruin and he is behind all the corruption, all the bad things happening at the company. Literally, Grandma feels so betrayed at this point because someone she had trusted the most, I would say, someone who has been working like for years in this company, is the one who had betrayed her trust. But she realizes it too late because those medications had already made their effect. She collapses, she tries to fight for her life, but at last she just faints. Hanju leaves the place immediately after staging that it was a natural accident. Now we are directly shown the scene where Hanju, Myeon and Yongsu were running inside the hospital where the doctors, Jin-kyung and her dad, are treating Grandma. Now the doctors had performed surgery, but unfortunately Grandma has gone to coma. And the doctors say that there are very low chances that she will ever wake up from this coma at all. So now, taking full use of Grandma's coma, he motions in the second part of his plan. Now Hanju secretly starts a smear campaign that the chairwoman of Myeonsungdang had been signing fake contracts with the Carl's Hotel David Lee to expand their business in the US. Now this starts a damn bad uproar against Myeonsungdang in the media because this news is all over the media and everyone is bad-mouthing Myeonsungdang, everyone is against Myeonsungdang. But no one can believe that a chairwoman like Ko Pil-yeon to do such a corrupted thing. But Hanju plays the act of the nice guy that he is trying his best to save Myeonsungdang and the chairwoman from falling. For now, Wooju even buys the act. But fortunately, after this small conversation with Hanju and the other people, Miss Kim, Grandma's secretary, she calls Wooju out for a coffee, and there at the cafe, she warns him against Hanju. Later, after seeing that entire media has turned against Myeonsungdang, Mary, she goes to the hospital to meet Wooju and give him a shoulder to lean on. Wooju had basically shared about Hanju, about Miss Kim warning to her, and after that, she's telling him that she's gonna help him through everything, but he has to keep his head high and fight for it. Now, when these two were having conversation together, giving hugs to each other, Jin-kyung sees it and feels a bit hurt because, of course, she still has feelings for Wooju and she assumed that they had broken up, so maybe she still has a chance with him, but now it turns out to be the exact opposite. So yes, our hurt Jin-kyung, she goes to a bar and coincidentally even Sang-hyun is at the same bar. Like many other times, it has also happened before. There they share drinks and open up about their struggles and stuff. Sang-hyun is confused and he asks Jin-kyung that why is she helping Wooju even though he had rejected her love. Jin-kyung is like, that's what you do in love. Even if he had rejected it, I still held feelings for him and he's still a friend, so of course she wants to help him because she cares for him a lot. The conversation then turns to why Sang-hyun won't leave the beauty department store and keeps on getting insulted. He tells her that there is some reason why he's still working there because they have done something great for him and he is still repaying. So Jin-kyung is like, okay if you're repaying, but don't go out of your way to help someone who don't even deserve it properly. And once you have finished your due, just leave this job and find a much respected one. She then compliments him a lot, like calling him charming, intelligent, quick-witted, and that he is much more deserving. This brings a rare smile, a genuine chuckle He literally smiles, and that is a huge feat. At Myeonsungdang, few employees, actually many employees, even those who have been working with Myeonsungdang for years, are now doubting their future. Like, they're worried about their future in the company because the news has spread all over the media that this company will now be sold to the investors. Meanwhile, Jessica and Henry return to Korea. Hanjo and Jessica are planning a very severe thing to turn everything against Myeonsungdang. They are planning to sell this company piece by piece. Now he has brought her to Myeonsungdang, and here Wooju and Yongsu are also present. So Wooju grows a bit suspicious of her. Hanjo introduces her as an American investor named Sylvia, and that their meeting will be fixed tomorrow. So he goes to meet Mary, and there he shows her a picture of Sylvia, whom Mary recognizes to be Jessica. Like, she sees the picture a lot and she's like, this is not Sylvia, she had seen it somewhere, and she's like, this is Jessica. How does Mary know it? Even Wooju is confused, and Mary said that she had seen this woman's picture with her sister because her sister used to work in a restaurant in America, and that restaurant was owned by Jessica. Remember, we spoke about a restaurant being closed in the US that was owned by Jessica. Yes. So just to confirm her suspicions, Mary sent this picture to her sister Sori, where Sori confirms that it is Jessica, her restaurant owner, and also the man beside her is her husband. Now in that picture, the man beside her is actually Hanju. Now this shocks everyone. Mary and Wooju are in utter shock that what the hell is happening. After the call ended, now Wooju realizes that his uncle is not only a corrupted thief, but he's also cheating on his aunt, and he is a huge fraud who's having a family here, and there he is married to Jessica and even have a son with her. Mary tells Wooju to think carefully and not to act impulsively at this stage, and to just wait and see what Hanju does the next thing. Wooju agrees, and sure thing, of course Hanju will do something bullshit. The next day, he brings Jessica there disguised as Sylvia. Both of them, like Hanju and Jessica, they pretend to not know each other at all, being so innocent. So Wooju, playing the smart card, he asks her for the complete employment security guarantee before selling the shares to her, and she does not even consider his request because it is of course out of their plan. Like, they're planning to take the shares and sell the company pieces by pieces. Now Wooju had asked this question just to see how Hanjo would react. Of course, he had reacted impulsively to it. Alarmed, Wooju joins forces with Yongsu, who had already been suspecting his father's involvement in criminal activities. Now Wooju, along with Mary and Yongsu, majorly Yongsu's help, all these three together join forces to expose Hanju's truth to the public. Now here, Yongsu plays a clever trick. He fakes a phone call with his mom talking about grandma being out of coma, because now he knew, and even Wooju knew, that when they find out that Kopil Leon is out of coma, Hanjo is definitely gonna do something along with Jessica, and so he does. He tells Jessica that now is the time she has to once again do a murder. Yes, she has to kill Kopilyan, and that's what she does. But at first, she again demands security. She says that if anything happens, he has to look after Henry. At night, Jessica had disguised as a nurse and entered Kopilyan's hospital room, where she tried to kill her, but just in time, she was caught red-handed by the police officers and by Wooju Mary. While she was being taken to the media, Myeonsungdang and the chairwoman's name got cleared from the entire corruption thing. But the problem was, neither Wooju nor the police were able to find any evidence against Hanju, because he had already made Jessica clear all the digital evidences against him. And she, being a stupid woman in love, I would say, she cleared all the evidences because she trusted Hanju. Now, Hanju goes to meet Jessica while she was under the police remand, and there he promises her that he is gonna hire the best lawyer in the country to get her out of jail very soon. But Jessica is worried about Henry. She tells him that no matter what happens, he should at least take care of Henry. Later, when Wooju confronts Hanju about his relationship with Jessica and his involvement in the company matters, he lies on Wooju's face directly, accuses Jessica of threatening him, blackmailing him, and even says that he's not sure if Henry is even his son. Like, how low can a person stoop? However, Wooju has come prepared. He had recorded this confession from Hanju. and now will use it against him to gain the help from Jessica. Now Vuju visits the police station where Jessica is there, and he at first asks her to admit to her crimes and that he also knows Hanju is involved in this too. So he tells her that if she agrees about Hanju's involvement in this and tells him where the proofs against Hanju is, he will help her. She refuses to help him. That's when Vuju plays the recording in front of her. This literally breaks Jessica because she had done everything not only for money but for her love for Hanju as well. After the recording was played, agrees to help Vuju, but under one condition, that Vuju will have to ensure Henry's security. On the other hand, Hanju had found out about Jessica's bargaining chips hidden in her place, which contains proofs against Hanju's involvement in this matter. So Hanju ransacks into her house and goes through every single stuff in the house to find that single USB device, but he couldn't find that. Then Henry's favorite toy, he opens it, he tears the toy open, and there he finds a USB device and his old phone. He puts that inside a laptop and plays everything that's in there. Now there are certain recordings about everything they have planned throughout the year. In one of the recording, it is Jessica and him talking to each other, where Hanju is telling Jessica that now it is time where she has to kill Vuju's parents. It is so heartbreaking to find that Vuju has overheard it all. He came just in time and heard it all about his parents' death being done by his uncle and everything. Till now, Hanju hasn't seen that Vuju is standing right there. When he collects the evidences that could be used against him, he turns to leave, and that's where he comes face off with Vuju. Even he's shocked, and in an emotionally charged moment where Vuju is literally teary voiced, his voice is cracking, where he asked Hanju that is he behind his parents' murder? Now it will be interesting to see how the last two episodes uncover, so stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and remember, here at Drama Lovelies, the drama never ends.